an all-new episode of Hanging with the Dreamer every Monday at 12 noon. Available wherever you stream. All right. Happy Friday, everybody. It's your old boy, the Dreamer. And today, I have a very, very special guest, and I am truly blessed, and I am honored. This is one of life's most beautiful full circles. My esteemed guest today, to talk about upcoming shows, to talk about inspiration behind their outstanding music, is Miss Diane Potter. So all together, dreamers, before Diane comes out from the green room, I just want to remind everybody to share this stream so that together we can work together. Just said together twice, didn't I? Yeah. Live shows. Together we can work to inspire somebody's life in a positive way in such a dark world. Be a shining diamond. If you like my content and if you like everything that I'm doing, please consider donating my production through PayPal. It really will help me keep bringing upscale, quality, epic, legendary interviews and content. And subscribe to The Dreamer's Life on Facebook, smash that, or on YouTube. Subscribe, or well, actually follow and comment on the stream on Facebook at the like page of Hanging with the Dreamer. Smash that bell on YouTube. Hit me up on Twitter. I'm posting daily on Instagram. So without further ado, if anybody hasn't met my guest yet, you're about to meet her now. Come on, dreamers, all together. Let's welcome Diane Potter to the show. Hi, Diane. Welcome to Hanging with the Dreamer.
Thank you.
How are you, Diane?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on your show.
Oh, thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. And I can't wait to hear the backstory to some of your music, and I can't wait to hear about your inspiration and hear about things that musically that are pleasing you about your musical adventure. So let's jump right into it.
Okay.
How did you first realize that your heart and your soul was crying out to be a professional musician?
Well, I was actually born into a very musical family. So I started taking piano lessons when I was very young, when I was 3. And it was just a natural thing. Everybody in my family played an instrument and sang, and so it was just something that I just did naturally. And frankly, I thought that's what everyone's life was like. I was much older when I realized that not everybody grew up taking piano lessons and singing and stuff. And so for that reason, I kind of took it for granted until I was older. Probably about the time when I was about 16 and I joined my first band. I was really very lucky. I auditioned for one of the bands that was very popular around the area where I lived in Pennsylvania. And I got the job. And so I started playing with this band every weekend. When I was 16, we played every Friday and Saturday night, sometimes on Sundays. And I loved it. And that's really when I knew that's what I wanted to do.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. So while I was listening to um, to Potter's Daughter, and I was listening to Octarine Sky this morning. I was discovering that there is such a meaningful connection with your inner musical voice. It it's something that, from my experience, it's something that only a seasoned veteran can recognize, because to recognize that musical voice sometimes takes years. You know, well, I hear it, and I'm gonna say this too. We have few people watching. Thanks everybody. I'm your old buddy the Dreamer. You're watching Hanging with the Dreamer, featuring Miss Diane Potter. Say hi in the chat and ask my guests a question. Introduce yourself if you're new to the anything that the Dreamer's doing. Hang out for a while. Let's get to know each other. The I really, really well before I give the Dreamer's opinion on, how good I think your music is. Um, what is your favorite? Um, what's your favorite melodies and favorite compositions that you've recorded? What's your favorite songs that you've written and you've recorded, and why?
I couldn't really answer that. It changes all the time, you know. It depends on my mood or what I feel like. I mean, of course, everything on the Blind Side is really dear to my heart because that was our debut, and I have amazing master musician Amit Chatterjee to thank for that, because Amit is really the one who encouraged me to get back into my own original music. I had done original music when I was living in New York City years ago, and then I moved to Switzerland and got married, and I was living over there, and then I was over there for 14 years, and we came back to the United States, and that's when I got back in touch with Amit. I had known Amit when I was in New York, and then he went on to tour with Joe Zawinul, with the Joe Zawinul Syndicate from Weather Report, and all of that. So Facebook got me back in touch with Amit. So that was really cool. And anyway, Amit encouraged me to get back into it. So The Blind Side is really special for that reason. But of course, everything after that had its own special moments as well. You know, I mean, Blood and Water is so special because we were able to work with the wonderful legend Danny Haslam. That was amazing. And then, and also my dear friend Rhonda Dubiel, she co-wrote the lyrics for that. That was the first song we did with her. And Parker Dubiel did the artwork for that. So, I mean, just so there, everything is dear. And of course, Octarine Sky is like so amazing for me. The honor of working with Simon Phillips and Guthrie Govan, and again with Amit. And yeah, I mean, everything is special for me, I have to say.
The whole process of discovering that, as an artist, the whole process of connecting and discovering with what's inside your mind, what's inside your heart, what's inside your soul. It's a very it's a very holy thing, and it's very sacred, and it's very precious. Um, uh, it's just an amazing, amazing adventure, very enlightening, very inspirational. And that right there, when I was listening to Octarine Sky, it's it's just it's outer dimensional, really. It really is. It's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. And everybody who's watching, I want to highly recommend. And what I'm about to say right now, you could say the dreamer said so, but check out all of Diane Potter's links in the description box below. Because I gotta tell you something. If you've never heard Octarine Sky, excuse me, and if you've never heard Potter's Daughter before, you're in for a treat.
Thank you.
And get ready to experience something that you may have or may not have experienced ever in your entire life. And another thing is, I strongly recommend starting with Potter's Daughter. And to start that, then listen to that whole release, then get Octarine Sky and listen to that afterwards. And it's a complete it's a complete journey. It all comes together. It all meshes together, and from beginning of Potter's Daughter to the end of Octarine Sky, it's a wild adventure.
What a ride!
It's a wild adventure, and it's
And
so.
was for me too.
I'm telling you, it's cool. I'm beaming. I'm like this rainbow in the dark right now, because I feel I feel the I feel the passion and the sincerity when you're playing piano and when you're singing. Uh, and then you take the stellar musicians and put that on top of that of your singing and playing piano. It just exploded. It exploded. It was a musical explosion. And that's the best way I could say. When I first put on Octarine Sky, it started out some nice melodies, some clean jazzy guitars, and everything. And then all of a sudden, just out of nowhere, you're just blindsided with this barrage of power, and it's like, you know, I love your music so much, and I really am a big fan. Um, but also being a musician and being around music my whole life, at least loving it my whole life, that's the best way I could describe it. That's it's all subjective. Hey, Heather's here. Hi, Heather. Welcome to Hanging with the Dreamer. Say hi, Diane Potter.
Hey, Heather.
Thanks for being here today, Heather. Heather is a good person, and she said some very wonderful things about me on Facebook about my show. And Heather, I can't thank you enough. I really am humbled by it. I'm blessed by it. Thank you, Heather, and thank you for being here. If you have a question for Miss Diane Potter, please, please ask it, and I'll be sure to ask, and I will be sure to ask her. Oh, hey, Mark Taylor. Hi, Will. Hi, Diane. If you have a question for Miss Diane Potter, Mark, please feel free to ask her about music. And Mark's a musician also,
Oh,
and um, ask Diane about Mark. Ask Miss Diane Potter about melodies and about writing melodies. Heather, my pleasure. Well, you're great. Hey, Diane. Thank you. See, thank you, Heather. Oh, man. I'm just a dreamer. I'm just me. Love me for all my flaws. Thank you, Heather. That's very sweet. Thank you. Um, so, Octarine Sky. What is the inspiration behind that title of the release? Was it all the feelings and expressionism of the music that all kind of came together, or was to form Octarine Sky, or was Octarine Sky basically the starting block for all the songs on that release, Diane?
um, that album was originally intended to be the second full-length Potter's Daughter album. Jan, Christiana, and I have been working together all throughout the Potter's Daughter stuff, and so we were getting ready to. We released the Blind Side, that was a full length album, and then after that we released the single with Annie Haslam, and then we released Casually Containing Rage, which was an EP, and we released This Winter's Child, which was a holiday single, which we did for our record company, Melodic Revolution Records. And for Nick Katona, he puts out a Christmas sample CD every year. So we had intended this new album to be the second full length Potter's Daughter album, and we started putting together all the material for it. And as I'm sure you heard, well, some of the music is really special on it. Let's put it that way. Like the first one, especially, is an arrangement of the first piano, or it's the first movement of the first piano sonata by the Argentinian composer Alberto Ginastera. And we knew that it was going to take a special drummer to add the something to that. I mean, there's time changes every other measure. It's through composed. It's not, verse chorus. So I mean, it's incredibly challenging. And then we also made, I'm sure you heard Seven, which is wonderful. It was a piano solo written by the amazing Swiss composer and my dear friend Julia Schwartz. And we knew that that was also going to be an extreme challenge for a drummer. So Jan and I just said, you know what? What have we got to lose? Let's just ask Simon Phillips. And we did. We sent him some demos of the music, and anyway, he got back to us and he accepted, and he said yes, he would be happy to do it. And so when we got that material back, we were blown away, as you can imagine. I mean, his drum parts just changed the whole thing. They are just incredible. He's an amazing visionary. And then we thought, all right, well, let's ask Guthrie Govan to play guitar. What worst thing he could do is say no, right? But he also said yes. So after we came back to consciousness after fainting, that he said yes, we heard that this material was much heavier and much more heavily orchestrated, more complexly orchestrated than anything we had ever done with Potter's Daughter. And we decided to separate the two projects. So we're going to keep Potter's Daughter for more of the acoustic kind of prog folk stuff that we do, and we're going to keep Octarine Sky for the heavier stuff. And And that's how that happened. And so the name actually Octarine Sky was inspired. At that time, I was reading these great books by the author Terry Pratchett. And I don't know if you've ever read the Discworld series by Terry Pratchett, but anyway, Octarine in these fantasy books is the eighth color of the spectrum, and it only exists when music or when magic
Isn't
is.
that something?
So we borrowed the word octarine from those books and made the title Octarine Sky.
Isn't that something? That- you never know. You never know where it's gonna come from. You know,
Just snatch it from here and there.
you just never know. I mean, you really never know where it's gonna come from, and most of the time, it's somewhere you're not even thinking about.
That's right.
And that's the great thing about the whole process.
It sure is.
You know. So before, thank you for sharing that. That's cool. I was really like meditating on the title, Octarine Sky, and I was like going, and I had like this epiphany, like, oh, that's where it came from. But I wanted to hear it. I wanted to hear it come from you. I thank you. I thank you for that. I kind of I didn't know specifics. I wasn't picking up on specifics. I was just picking up on generality. Yeah, general.
And anyway, it doesn't really matter where it came from for me. I mean, that's one thing that I think is really important about art is that everybody has their own relationship to the things that they discover and the things that they hear and see. And just because the artist had a different idea doesn't take away the value of your experience or anyone else's experience. And quite frankly, that's why I dislike revealing what my relationship is to certain things, because I know that sometimes it has ruined it for me if I have a relationship with a song, for example, and then I find out the lyrics are totally different than what I thought they were, and in the meantime, I had, this great experience, poignant moment, and then it turns out the lyrics are totally different. So it's like, I'd rather not know.
I hear you. I hear. Yeah. I mean, yeah. It's. I'm sure. I'm sure it's quite an eye opener when that happens. You know. But it's all part of the experience,
Mhm.
and it's all part of creating. It's all about creating and developing your craft and developing your art. And in your case, speaking of your music, I do have um, this kind of a long name, so you'll have to excuse me. I do have Night Sky into the Dream pulled up. If you would like me to play it.
Of course. Thank you.
Hey, everybody, hold on to somebody, hold on to something. This is Miss Diane Potter. This is Night Sky into a Dream. And no, I didn't pick it because it ended with my name. Enjoy, everybody. This is cool. Relax. Grab whatever you're drinking. Close your eyes and breathe and listen to my esteemed guests. And then afterwards, I would love to hear in the comments how everybody's feeling. This is cool. Get ready, everybody, for what's sure to be the most beautiful experience of the day. Because I know for me, my whole day's been all about thinking about my meditation time this morning. So let me just pull it up here. Oh, wait a minute. Sorry, everybody. Let me just pull it up here. Um, I need to come up with some keystrokes. There we are. There we are. These commercials. They just move it over. Sorry, folks. Bear with me. Bear with me. Trust me, it's worth the wait. It's definitely worth the wait.
Maybe while we're waiting, I could just say that this song features Simon Phillips on the drums and Guthrie Govan on guitar and Jan Christiana on bass.
Enjoy, everybody. Night sky into the dream.
That epic email should have been a snagit. That unnecessary meeting should.
That was phenomenal. I just,
Thank you.
wow.
Guthrie's playing, man. It's just even I must have listened to it. I can't even count how many times. It still gets me, man. When he comes in, oh,
That's just, oh, I love it. That's so awesome. That
thank
is so
you.
beautiful. Beautiful. Mark Taylor. Let's see what Mark Taylor's got to say. Hey, Mark, you love her voice.
Thank you, Mark. Much appreciated.
Absolutely. Hey,
Hey, Rose.
what's going on? Such a beautiful
Thank
song.
you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Rose is going to be singing with us on August 6th.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, I'm really, really excited. I
Now,
met Rose when we were together at Prague on the Ranch. Potter's daughter played at Prague on the Ranch, and thanks, Rose. Yeah, and so she's gonna sing with us 2 songs. I can't wait. She's got a great voice. She's amazing.
I hope I get to hear it someday. That's awesome. That's awesome. Rose, welcome to Hanging with the Dreamer. I am everybody's old buddy, the Dreamer. And I'm sitting here with Miss Diane Potter. So thank you for being here, Rose. That's just
Hey, John.
John. Hi, John.
John is the reason that we got in touch, Will.
That's cool. Hi, John. Welcome to Hanging with the Dreamer. Awesome. 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 So that leads us to the festival, the Prague Festival that you are preparing for. Would you like to give a backstory or share something about that?
Sure. Well, we're going to be playing on August 6th in New Jersey. It's in Somerset, New Jersey, at the New Jersey Prague House Summer Camp. And there is other bands. I think there's 5 altogether. The 2 or 3 members of Nectar, the fabulous band Nectar, will also be playing. Simon Godfrey, School Tree, and Molsum are going to be playing. So it's going to be a really full day of music. And we're going to be playing together. Jan and I, Potter's daughter is playing. And Jan and I are going to be joined by the fabulous drummer who is in the band Orpheus 9. Mark DeGregory. And Mark played with us last year at the wonderful Prague event, Prague Stock, and also the other great festival, Prague on the Ranch. And that's when I met Rose. And so we're really, really psyched. We're really looking forward to it. The New Jersey Prague House has done a ton of stuff over the years, creating venues for Prague bands and bringing people together. And we first got a chance to play for the New Jersey Prague House right before lockdown in 2020 when we went on tour. We played at the New Jersey Prague House on Saturday night, and New York City closed down on Monday. So I was like, whoa. But yeah, if you want any more information, we would love it. Anybody who wants to come, it'd be great to see you there. And you can find out more information at www.newjerseypraguehouse.com.
That's absolutely phenomenal. That's absolutely phenomenal. So here's a question that I ask all my guests.
Okay.
And that question very simply is, what is the inspiration? You have a musical vision. You're involved with these 2 absolutely mind-blowingly legendary projects. What is your hope for where your two musical projects, where would you like to see your two musical projects, excuse me, grow into?
Well, I, I, I don't have an end goal, an end game that I'm going for. I just want to have the good luck to be able to keep making music with amazing musicians, and I just want to, I'm so grateful to have these two projects. Potter's Daughter is it's kind of a softer project. I can express myself in a different way through that. And Octarine Sky is, I mean, it's a dream come true to be able to, meet Simon Phillips and work with him, and Guthrie Govan. And I mean, and to hear that the greatest thing about it all is you have these music in your head, and then you can hear it back, and you love it. I mean, so often in the past I would make music, and listen back and go, well, I like it, but if it weren't for this or this one little thing, and I think we're getting to the point now, and certainly with Close to Nearby with Octarine Sky, like there's nothing I would change on that album. I'm so grateful for that. And I feel really good about this new EP that we're coming out with for Potter's Daughter too. I think Jan and I have learned a lot over the years about our sound and how we want to present it. And yeah, I'm really grateful for having the opportunity to do what we do. Of course, if the world would give us the opportunity to perform more, that'd be great. And, more money, of course. Hey,
Hi,
Cheryl.
Cheryl.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks for being here, Cheryl. Welcome to Hanging with the Dreamer. The, the, absolutely, I'm even talking to you, I hear your passion, and I hear your belief, the belief and the faith that you have in your belief. It's a beautiful thing, and it's something that I really think is needed, to be able to stand firm in your faith of what you believe in, and knowing that what you believe in is right, and knowing that what you believe in is going to have a great outcome, even though you may not, well, be too sure how that outcome's going to be. And I could definitely say that for myself, only speaking for myself.
You make me sound a little bit more courageous than I really am, I think.
Well, you can hear it.
It is, it really takes, for me, and I believe for everybody, a lot of courage to put stuff out. And there's always people who love it and people who hate it. And you just got to keep doing it anyway, right? I mean, that's the way I'm looking at it. It's not that I have no fear. I don't want to put it that way. Cannot lie
I
about
got you. I understand. I'm with you. I'm right there with you on that.
just doing
But
it anyway.
just do it. Just, just, just do it. Just make it happen. It's everything when the stars line up. It's there's no questioning it. Really, when the stars line up, you just gotta do what's in front of you and do it. Just do it. Watch what happens. And you know the the and I mean maybe what my outcome and what I think and what I hear in your music. Exactly, Diane. Yeah,
Thanks, sister.
that. Thank you, Cheryl. Thank you. I appreciate that comment. Thank you. That's really
Cheryl
nice.
is driving 450 miles to come up to New Jersey on August
And
6th. Woo! You go, girl!
so,
See ya.
how many people are you hoping will or that you're dreaming about um, will be at this event?
All of them. I mean, I'm actually, I grew up on the East Coast. And I lived in New York City for a lot of years, for like 14 years. And then I moved to Switzerland, and I lived in Switzerland for 14 years. And then we moved back to the United States. We've been moving all around. And anyway, I'm living in the Midwest now. So I'm really hoping and looking forward to seeing a lot of people that I used to see more regularly when I lived closer to the East Coast than I do now. So yeah, and I've heard that some of the people that were in the very first band I was ever in when I was 16 years old, I heard that they might come. The bass player lives now in New York City, Ed Carilla. He might come, and yeah, the guys from East Coast might come. So I mean,
Wow.
like that would just be such a thrill. Another friend of mine, William Gardner, he's coming up from Virginia, and yeah, we're really looking forward to seeing everybody.
Who are the? It's going to be a fantastic time.
It is.
It really is for the artists, for the musicians, to the music fans. It's gonna just be one giant cohesive vibe, and one giant cohesive spirit, and the energy is going to be positive, and it's going to be inspirational, and it's going to be powerful. Yeah, I can see it already. I could definitely see it already. It's going to be cool. So, do you have any? Now, I was watching the video on your YouTube channel for Blood and Water. Who did that video?
Jan did. Jan Christiana. He does everything. He arranges the music. He plays bass. He plays guitar. He plays keyboards. He produces it. He produced all the Potter's Daughter stuff except for the stuff that Amit produced, and he produced Octarine Sky album,
Mm-hmm.
and of course he does all of the graphic stuff. Yeah,
He is quite a visionary.
yeah, he is. Yeah, me too, Cheryl.
Cheryl can't wait. Diane can't wait. This is going to be great. This is going to be really, really good. And so, Blood and Water, what is the backstory to Blood and Water?
It's actually a song I wrote years ago, and of course we reworked it. Jan helped rework it. Okay, sounds good, Cheryl. She lives out in the boondocks, so. But yeah, so it was a song I had written years ago, and we reworked it, Jan and I, and Rhonda Dubiel, who has written a lot of lyrics for us, co-wrote the lyrics for that one, and we've done work with Glass Onion PR with Billy James, and Billy James actually was very helpful, instrumental in getting Annie Haslam, getting us in touch with her. And then we sent Annie the demo, and she liked the song, and she said, yeah, she would love to sing on it. And so, yeah, that was really wonderful. And then Parker Dubiel did the cover art for that one. So that was a really special release for us.
Now, I saw the Indiegogo video that you had where you were talking about blood and water.
Mm-hmm.
And that was actually really refreshing to see that Indiegogo video. And after I got done watching that video, I listened to the song directly after that. And that song, The Spirit of Blood and Water, is a real solid purpose in life, I would think, in musical life. It's the magic that surrounds, well, all your music. But I mean, uh, Blood and Water, She is Dreaming. That's another one I wanted to ask you about. What's the inspiration and the backstory to She is Dreaming?
That's another song that I wrote a really long time ago. And actually, the lyrics for She is Dreaming are taken from poetry by the great poet Joel Crisanda, who is a dear friend of mine. So I wrote that song when I was, I went up to this cabin out in the woods, out in the middle of nowhere, and I locked myself up. I had to walk to a well up the hill to get fresh water while I was staying there. And I stayed there for a couple days, and I wrote a lot of songs, and She is Dreaming is one of the one. It was the favorite one I wrote from while I was up there at that cabin. I'm doing my monk work.
The good story. The the gray moon. Gray moon. Did I
Silver
say?
Moon, you mean?
The the song. The song. Um, oh, speaking of which, there's Octarine Sky. I believe it's on this one. Everybody, please, I can't stress enough the importance of picking up these two releases right here. Potter's Daughter, right there, and Octarine Sky. Please listen, check it out, message me on Facebook, and I'll send you a video link. Check these two releases out. You will be so happy, and you will be real happy you did. You'll know that you made the right purchase. Check these two out.
Thank you. Armand Cabrera created the artwork for the cover of Octarine Sky.
The cover, if I wasn't listening to the music and I just look at this, I just focus on the cover, the very first thought in my head when I first laid eyes on the cover, even before I even opened it, for some unknown reason, well, it's not unknown, but for some reason, I thought of Led Zeppelin's Physical Graffiti.
Oh,
You
one of my
know,
favorite bands when I was growing up. Still, I mean, come on.
Still is. Gotta have my morning Zeppelin
Oh
7 mornings a week.
yeah, definitely.
um, so I was going to ask you about a song off of Potter's Daughter, and I'm going blind. Terrible. Excuse me, everybody. Yep, City Lights, She is Dreaming. Summer Night, It's Summer Nights. Movement, To My Love. There you go. That one. And Silver Moon. That's what I was trying to say. Great Moon. Come on, dreamer. I'm caught up in the magic of it all. Silver Moon. Much better. Silver Moon. What is the backstory to Silver Moon?
I mean, so that's an instrumental song, and you know, I don't have stories really for every instrumental song that I have. I just hear things sometimes, and then I go to the piano and try to figure them out. And Silver Moon is one of them, and Amit Amit Chatterjee arranged that for the blind side, and the amazing bass player Lincoln Goines is playing on that, and Amit is playing on that, and the amazing percussionist Randy Crafton is playing on that, and of course Jan is playing on that. So yeah, I mean that was a wonderful experience because we recorded that live in the studio. The Blind Side in general, we recorded it live in the studio. So Lincoln and Randy and Jan and Amit and I were all playing together live. And of course, in isolation booths as one does in a studio, but still we had eye contact and we could see each other. And there's this one section in Silver Moon in the piano solo that it changes from 4/4 to 6/8, right? And I remember that moment because like we had only had like 2 days of rehearsal. I mean, those musicians are incredible, they don't need to rehearse, but like still the music isn't like, it's not that simple. And I remember that like I just went into the 6/8 because I wanted to at that moment while I was taking the solo. And I still remember Randy's face. He was like, oh, okay, here we go. And he was right there. And Lincoln, I mean, that was an amazing moment. And in the studio with those guys, they're just professionals and really inspirational to work with.
The what do you have a inspiration or maybe a thought or an emotion in your spirit or in your heart that led you to write To My Love?
I'm not telling. I can tell you this, though. The words are taken from writings from Mother Teresa. No, I can tell you something else too. The other thing I can tell you is that I was inspired from an Irish folk song that I had heard. That the first and the funny thing about To My Love is that song, I've done so many different arrangements of it. The first arrangement of it I did had bagpipes in it, and it actually sounded really cool. And then of course there's the version that we did on the Blind Side, and then we did a different version of To My Love on Casually Containing Rage, and that's the version that we keep, and that's the version that we're going to be playing on August 6th. So Yeah, it was like we couldn't get that one out of our skin. That "To My Love" just kept coming back, wanting to be rearranged and rearranged.
Well, I can hear bagpipes.
Yeah,
I
I mean, it was definitely just hard to find somebody who can play them. Not everybody
well,
who plays bagpipes, though.
well, being Scottish, I can hear. That's why I asked you because I could actually hear a melody. I could hear like bagpipes. I could hear flutes. I could hear strings. And it really, for To My Love, um, amazing, absolutely amazing. And one of the last of the questions I had for you, who would you say is one of your biggest, most influential musical influences, if you have one?
I mean, that's so hard because I have so many. Um, I mean, I'm a classical pianist first, so obviously there's classical pianists that have hugely influenced me. Um, and then, so I grew up playing classical music, but I always listened to rock and roll. So, I listened to Led Zeppelin and Styx, and Yes, of course. Well, when I discovered Yes, that changed my life because I heard Rick Wakeman, who graduated from the London Conservatory in classical piano, right? So finally, my two worlds came together. It was like, I can do both, and so I would have to I have to say Rick Wakeman, but not just Rick Wakeman from Yes, also John Anderson, because John Anderson's voice, I can't even begin to say what his music has meant to me over the years. And I was really so lucky because when I was living in Switzerland, I happened to see on John Anderson's website that he was opening up his time to work with different people, and he asked everybody if they have a demo to send him a demo. So I sent him a demo, and then he actually got back in touch with me, and I ended up doing some arranging work for him from that. And then as a matter of fact, he also sang on the original of Hold from Octarine Sky, and we would have loved to have him on the record, but that was right when he started touring with his Thousand Hands tour, so the timing wasn't right for him. But I mean, so he was a huge inspiration, and of course Lyle Mays was a huge inspiration for me. I mean, he was an amazing, amazing keyboard player and pianist, and he also played somewhat classically. Like the tone that he produced was just gorgeous. Bill Evans. And then, of course, Kate Bush was a huge influence on me because when I heard Kate Bush, I realized that I didn't have to fit into a mold, that it would be okay for me to just be who I was musically. And that meant a lot to me, of course. So I mean, there's just so many influences. I mean, I could talk all day about the people who have meant so much to me musically.
So, if you can open up either Potter's Daughter or Octane Sky, can open up for any major project, who would it be?
Who would be a good match? So I don't know. I don't know. I'll take any gig. Give me a gig.
And and what would be your ideal setting? Venue, theater, uh, stadium, football field, 500 square yard football field. What would be your most ideal setting um, to perform in, to really bring forth? that that same authentic, inspirational spirit that I pick up on, where would that be?
I mean, I like them all. I've played in small bars. You know, I toured around for 12 years doing a solo act, playing piano and singing. And I I've played in really small bars, and I like that because it's so personal, and you know, you can look in somebody's eyes and talk to them. And so I like that. I've played in big clubs. I've played at the Spectrum in Philadelphia in front of 50,000 people. So that's a thrill. I mean, the electricity of being in an arena is amazing. And I like to perform, and I welcome I welcome the opportunity to do it whenever I can. Thanks, Rose.
Thank you, Rose. And uh, really, if there are any brands or any sponsorships that you would like to sign on to or that you would like to find you, who would that be, Diane?
Um, if Moog wants to give me a keyboard, I would be happy to take it.
Awesome, yeah. That's great. That's fantastic. Rose also said, thank you both. This is great. Well,
Thanks,
thank you, Rose.
Rose.
Thank you, Rose, for being here. I would love to hear you sing. I would love to hear you sing. And nail that performance. Good luck with the performance with Diane.
We're
It's
gonna.
gonna be phenomenal. It's gonna be phenomenal. Lastly, do you have any questions for me?
Well, I do have a question for you, but before we end, I would love to just say one more thing. Are we about to end? That's my first question.
No, no, not necessarily.
Okay, because I did want to just mention one more thing before we end. So tell me before we end so I could say it. But my question for you is, what do you like the most about what you do?
The spirit of creation. Just being able to wake up every morning,
Mhm.
no matter what's going on in my life. Come into Dreamland Studios at 6:30 a.m. My coffee, light my companion here, and meditate. The spirit of creation that I don't even know where it's going to come from. I just may hear something in my mind. I may hear something, feel something in my heart or in my spirit stirring, and then see what transforms. It's that uncertainty and not knowing how my day's going to end up. Okay, I know that I have to create this production, finish this video, and continue correspondence with these awesome people, awesome artists. But I never know how it's going to end up. And so I would definitely like to say that to answer your question, the long and short of it, it would be being uncertain and not having a clue how things are going to turn out, but moving forward anyway. And that's one of the things that I love about what I do with that, making new friends, learning, as I've learned from you, and as I learned from your music. It's going to be my meditation music now for quite a while, I'm sure,
Thank you, Will.
because it means that much to me. And everybody, check this out.
Woohoo! Check that t-shirt out, Potter's Daughter. Thank you. That's so
So
cool.
check it out. Get your Potter's Daughter shirt today. Get your get your Potter's Daughter CD today. Get your Octarine Sky CD. Get this. Trust me, you want to start off by listening to this. Then when you're done with this, with Potter's Daughter, put on Octarine Sky and do them back to back. I've listened to Octarine Sky first and then Potter's Daughter second. Then I listened to Potter's Daughter first and Octarine Sky second, and I prefer that. Everybody's different, but check it out. And something that I'm going to get to in the morning would be this one. I haven't opened it yet, but I am looking forward to it. Everybody, this will be my morning meditation music tomorrow morning.
It's called Casually Containing Rage, and because that's our COVID release.
Pick
We
it up,
released
everybody.
during COVID.
Definitely Dreamer approved.
And that has the new version of To My Love on it.
Awesome. 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 And lastly, Mark Taylor. Great show. Hey, thank you, Mark.
Thanks, Mark.
Hey, check out what Potter's Daughter is doing. Check out what Octarine Sky is all about. Trust me, you're a musician. You're doing guitar tracks for somebody. You'll get it, and you'll remember this conversation, and you'll get it. I know you'll get it. Thank you, Mark. Hey, thanks everybody. And I just want to encourage everybody to subscribe on YouTube and smash that bell notification. The Dreamer's Life is on a roll. And there are some very exciting interviews I have coming up that I'm finalizing for mid-August to the end of August. And I'm very excited. And next Sunday night updates will be back. So keep your eyes on social media, on Twitter, on Instagram. And remember that video and audio is now available everywhere where you can stream. So go to Apple Podcasts, go to Google Podcasts, go everywhere you can to find Hanging with the Dreamer, because now I'm everywhere. Well, I won't say everywhere, but I am a lot more places than I was 2 years ago. So check it out, everybody. Support Miss Diane Potter, support her musical vision.
Thanks.
Get into her heart, get into her spirit, get into her music. And I've been waiting till the end to ask you this quick question. Who would you like to give a shout out to?
I'd like to give a shout out to everybody who's here listening to us. Thank you so much for spending your afternoon with us, wherever you may be, or evening, or morning, wherever you are. But thank you very much for hanging out with us. Thanks for stopping by, and thanks to everybody in the chat. And I just want to say I'm really looking forward to one more thing that I just wanted to mention. We're coming out with a new EP called Weighted Keys, Potter's Daughter. And the amazing artist Joe Ganesh has provided the artwork for that. It's a really cool picture, Girl with Pink Glasses it's called. And it should be coming out really soon. So it features a rendition of a gorgeous composition by Tom Kelly, and I'm called Catherine. And I'm really looking forward to having that released. The album, the EP, it's renditions of 3 songs from 3 different times in my life. So the one song from when I was 16 years old, the one song when I was living in New York, and Catherine most recently, being a part of the wonderful Prague community that I've had the honor of being welcomed into. So I just want to say, keep an eye out for Weighted Keys, and I hope you enjoy it. And thank you so much for having me on the show.
Been my honor, my privilege, my blessing. Thank you. Thank you so very much for being here. And I also want to say, everybody who's watching, no matter what platform you're watching from, be sure to go to Facebook and look up Potter Daughters Tribe. Did I say that right?
Yes.
Be sure to get into what Potter Daughters Tribe is doing. And check out Octarine Sky. On Facebook, check out Potter's Daughter on Facebook. Go to Diane's YouTube channel and subscribe. I subscribed this morning and I smashed that bell.
Subscribe you too.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm going to start doing live performance broadcasts. And I definitely want to extend an invitation to Potter's Daughter to broadcast a live performance.
Thank you.
With full chat. So I would like to extend that invitation out. And I would definitely love to have you back for another artist spotlight moment. Hanging with the Dreamer.
Thank you so much.
And I will be right back. Thanks, everybody. See you in the next interview. And don't forget, Sunday evening updates. We'll be back. Not this Sunday in 2 days. The following Sunday. Sunday evening updates. We'll be back. Thanks, everybody. And turn on those notifications. Select Diane Potter, select Potter's Daughter, select Octarine Sky, select the like page at Hanging with the Dreamer, so whenever any one of us go live, you won't miss a thing. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks. Thank you.
An all-new episode of Hanging with the Dreamer every Monday at 12 noon. Available wherever you stream.